So March 13th is National Dietitian Day. Yes, that's today. And so I figured today would be the perfect day and perfect opportunity to inform you of the differences between a dietitian and a nutritionist, because the two are very similar, but they're also very different, and there's a lot of confusion. So why not do it today? All right, so nutritionists, their term is typically not regulated by the state. What that means is there's typically no minimum requirement needed in order to use that title. Now, there are a lot of certified nutritionists who've gone above and beyond and decided to get a certification to expand their knowledge. But on the other side of that is a lot of people who are calling themselves a nutrition coach or nutritionist and don't have any minimum requirement needed in order to instruct or educate someone on how to change their body the right way, the healthy way, because they don't have that knowledge of the human body, absorption of different nutrients. There's a lot that goes into telling someone what to do for their own body type, okay? Now, on the other side of that is the dietitian. Now, there are a lot of different steps needed in order to become a dietitian. So the first level of requirement is to have a nutrition-related degree. So I have a master's in nutrition from Georgia State University, and once I finished that degree program, I then had to apply and get accepted into an internship to have supervised practice hours. Now, what that means is supervised practice. I'm working underneath other dietitians before I can go out on my own. I had to have 900 supervised practice hours, which has now been increased to 1,200 supervised practice hours. So we have different areas of dietetics that we had to participate in. So there was the hospital, which is clinical. There was food service management. Which you can think about like a cafeteria in a school, or like, a hospital's cafeteria. There is community. So I worked with WIC. I also work with Ohio State University's campus nutritionists, counseling students. There was long-term care, so I worked in a nursing home. So there's a lot of different areas that you have to work through in order to become a well-rounded dietitian, and then also so you can figure out what you want to do once you finish. So once we finish those practice hours, next we had to complete an exam and pass an exam. So we had to purchase this huge book, study the book, memorize information, and then take that exam and pass it. So again, degree, internship, hundreds of hours of supervised practice hours, exam. Then after you take that exam, you can become licensed by the state, because that term dietitian is regulated by the state. So everybody cannot use that term. In order to use the term dietitian, you have to have met all of those requirements. Now, once you have your degree, internship, supervised practice hours, and you're licensed by the state, now you have to have continuing education credits in order to continue using that title. So we get licensed by the state, or at least in Texas, every 2 years. So you have to have a certain amount of continuing education credits every 2 years in order to renew your license. And then we also have to have 75 continuing education credits every 5 years for another certifying body. Levels to this thing, okay? So degree, internship, exam, licensed by the state, continuing education credits. Now, is a dietitian or is a nutritionist just as good as a dietitian? It really depends on the nutritionist, because that particular person may have gone above and beyond, gotten a certification, make sure that they stay on top of, continuing education and new trends. But there are some people who don't have any of that. They have no biochemistry, biology, chemistry, organic chemistry, everything that I had to take, everything that other people have had to take in order to have that base level so that you can apply these different theories to different people. Because when you're talking about dealing with people's bodies and giving someone an individualized plan, there's a lot that goes into that. You can give somebody a cookie cutter plan and they may get results, but will they be healthy internally? That's to be determined. There's a lot of knowledge that needs to go into this before you can just jump out and tell somebody how to eat. Even just because it works for you doesn't mean that it's the best thing for everybody else to follow. So again, dietitian, there are a lot of different steps that you have to take to use that term. It's regulated by the state. Nutritionist, not regulated by the state, but there are still a lot of certified nutritionists who I know who are great at what they do, because I know that they're on top of their stuff and they learn what they need to learn in order to get those kind of results for their clients. So I just want to make sure that you all knew the difference. Like I said, dietitians, base level of knowledge. There are a lot of qualifications and criteria needed in order to use that title. Nutritionist is not the same, but they can still be as great. So shout out to all my dietitians who went through this process, jumped through all those levels in order to be able to use this title. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day and keep digging deep.